So tell me, is you ready, baby? Tell me, is you ready, baby?
Hey y'all, welcome back to the Be Like D channel. It's your girl D coming back with another review of Love and Marriage Huntsville season 6 episode 9. And this episode was full of all kinds of bullshit, so let's go ahead and get into it, okay? The episode opens up with Marceau and Tisha, and here they go moving again, and this time they are, what they say they moving to? I don't even know, another house, but they moving. In their confessional, they're saying that the Scott Manor not gonna be done for another 2 to 3 years. Marceau talking about 1 to 2. I'm like, Tisha's 2 to 3 years, so they gotta move to get a, I guess, more comfortable space. I'm like, y'all done moved so many times, and what's taking so long to get y'all house built? Y'all starting to become Never Land, and now y'all got Never Land on the show. I guess she proved to y'all that it can happen eventually. Only took about 5 years. Okay, so now we get Marceau telling Tisha, like, oh, y'all ain't tell me about Tiffany. And then she's like, what about Tiffany? It's like, I thought she was sharp. I thought she had sense. Well, he didn't say sense. He said, I thought she was sharp. I thought she was witty. But I thought she had it all, but she don't. And then Tisha was like, what, sense? Like, what's going on? And then so he starts to tell her about, him having to sit down with Martell to study. And Tiffany came by to talk about Selma, but that ain't what they talked about, because Martell started to be upset with her and say that Sheree told him what she said, and he's like, if I tell you this, these are words that I got, like, this is what I got from it. She said, how does it feel to date a cheater? And then Tisha, how does it feel to date a cheater? That's what she said when she first met her. Oh my gosh, baby is so messy right now. And then it's like, and how she gonna say that when she cheated? She cheated on her first husband. And then Marceau's like, well, I think she's trying to date a cheater. The only person that asked questions like that was want to date a cheater. I think she's trying to date a cheater. And I was like, oh, so y'all really finna just be throwing Tiffany under the bus like that? And while she pregnant? That's kind of cold. Because then that's gonna have people saying, is that Lou baby? Is that Lou baby? And then Tisha was saying that Tiffany got a slick mouth, and then Marceau was like, well, if she got a slick mouth and want to be messy, just be messy then. I'm just like, what? She was being messy though, but I mean, y'all being messy right now. Y'all was being messy with Martell and Mel. Y'all all messy, okay? So then we cut to Tiffany coming up to Big Lou and telling him basically what just happened between, her and Martell and Marceau. And she was like, I was going to talk to your friends about the Selma thing, and they came at me with everything but what I came there to talk about. I'm sorry, that was just too funny to do. But why does it feel like, okay, she right to go to her husband and tell him what happened, but the whole time it felt like she was manipulating him so he can get riled up so he can go stand up for his wife. Because it's just the way she talked. Because it's like, your friends, like, they came at me with everything but what I came there to talk about. And then Martell's telling me that he's upset about a conversation I had with Sheree with another woman. Like, put that note in his head. Me having a conversation with another woman. They both came at me about that conversation, and she didn't even seem upset when we left the conversation. And then her husband was like, so 2 dudes, Big Lou, so 2 dudes came at you about a conversation you had with a woman? And that part, I was like, I'm conflicted because I do want him to get on their asses. But then she is manipulating him right here in this very moment to get him that gusto. Okay, so then she was like, so like I asked her, like, how does it feel to date a cheater? Big Lou said, like, we in the wrong. I'm a defender. He was like, babe, you asked that? Like, really? She's like, yeah, I mean, like, I'm a cheater, you're a cheater. Like, how does it feel? Can you hold your own? I said, okay, you got that. You brought that together. Okay. Oh, Tiffany is funny. Tiffany is funny in the backtrack, you know? But stand in it, girl. Stand in it. It was all messy and it's funny, okay? Anyway, so his whole Big Lou whole thing is that they came at her, you know, while she pregnant and came at her about something that she had. That was a conversation with a woman. Tiffany, I seen you, girl. You just manipulated the hell out of your husband and got him riled up to go fight your battle. And then he had to make sure he had a real cause because you was wrong as hell. Again. Oh, Big Lou, you always gotta fix Tiffany messes. Okay, so then we cut back to Tisha and Marceau still talking about the situation. And so Marceau is saying that then Tiffany said to another grown woman, oh my goodness, okay, another grown woman, and he gonna teach you that she just met, that is her pussy good enough to keep Martell. And then she was like, oh, she said the P word? I said, Tisha, that's what you stuck on. Tisha, she's the P word? Not even vagina? Oh, Tisha, that was funny. And Marcel like, yes, yes. Yeah, and then he said that what he said, that she was acting she looked him dead in his soul when he asked her why would she do such a thing and to say that to another human being. And she said that because she likes blended families. And then they was like, what? And then Tisha said that she would have cursed Tiffany out if there was somebody she don't know coming up to her asking her stupid ass questions like that, basically. I'm like, okay, exactly. But did Sheree cuss her out? No. Because she ain't feel no ways. Because it ain't real, y'all. It ain't real. So then Marceau says that then Tiffany tried to say, well, I learned a lot from Sheree. He was like, girl, shut up. I'm sorry. It was funny, but he was also pissing me off because he was being extra messy, extra opinionated, running it back to Tisha after he didn't even need to be jumping in the conversation, okay, the whole time. But anyway, so then he said at one point Martell said, she asked you how many men you slept with or something like that. I said, when they said that, hold on, we ain't go back. What's the scene, y'all? Cause why they didn't catch him saying that to her? Anyway, so he said that he asked how many people she done slept with, and then he was like, well, you should say narrow that down like in the last year. And then he go teach her, don't be disrespectful. Don't be disrespectful to her marriage. And he was like, how is that being disrespectful to her marriage? She's like, it is to her marriage. So I'm like, okay, so now you stand up for that, but you was the one that just put out that it's a rumor that she done cheated on her husband. Girl, stop. You trying to play innocent. There you go again. You let your mama and now you letting your husband say stuff that you want to say. Okay. So anyway, and then they had they talked about in their confession. They said Tiffany liked to backtrack. She said that she liked to backtrack on the slick stuff she say after she said the whole she liked blended families thing. And I'm like, duh. You know what? I just remembered Marceau got all of this animosity and all this energy towards Tiffany because Tiffany was just been saying something about him and Tisha's marriage. I forgot about that for just a second. Hold on, because I forgot Tisha still got to address her with her issue. And I know you already told your husband about it. So then I forgot to say that Marceau said that he called her Karen. Like, how does it feel to be a Karen or something like that? And she's like, then she was like, he said that she was like, oh my god, why would you call me a Karen? Because I'm half white. I was like, oh my gosh, that is not how she said it. But when you said it, she was like, why did you say that? Because I'm biracial. Like, she didn't understand why you was calling her a Karen. So, boy, overplaying it. And so anyway, so we cut to Big Lou and Tiffany still talking about it, and then she was like, "Your friend Marceau called me a Karen." And then Big Lou say, "What?" Oh my gosh. He like, "What?" He said, "Yeah." And he was like, and I was like, "Why?" Because I'm half white, because I'm the only one that's like half white in the group, and I'm biracial. Like, I don't understand why he's calling me a Karen, and and saying like, "Who the fuck do I think I am?" And he was like, he showed attitude towards you. I was like, yes, yes, Lou, he did. And Tisha like, I mean not Tisha, did TV like, yes. And then he's saying, who am I? Where am I come from? Where do I come from to be saying stuff like this or whatever? He's like, and then he's like, then Big Lou was like, yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna have to have a conversation with them, you know. And then he's like, he shouldn't show no attitude towards you. They shouldn't be coming at you while you pregnant. Martell shouldn't be coming at you. He should have came to me and said he felt the way about what you said or whatever. And not bring Marceau with him to, basically confront you. So then Tiffany was like, yeah, that's what they said at the very end of the conversation, after they had the whole fucking conversation. Then they want to say, well, we'll talk to Big Lou about this. I was like, yeah, that's true. That's what happened. They had the whole conversation, and it was like, we'll talk to Big Lou after. Like, if you was gonna talk to him anyway, you should have just went to him in the first place. And then y'all already know what he was. Y'all already was like, come get your wife. But anyway, they are full of it. So then we got Big Lou saying, he don't like that two men came to a woman about a conversation that happened with another woman. It wasn't that serious. So then they confessional, he's saying he a peaceful guy, Big Lou. He's saying he a peaceful guy, but he don't play about his family, and he don't play about his wife. I said, okay. He said, so two guys coming to my wife about an issue that's minute is an issue for me. I said, okay, Big Lou, okay, put it on the table then. And he goes, Tiffany, that's why I love you. You're the protector. I said, oh my gosh. Tiffany, this is a little bit of Karen behavior. You done got your husband riled up to go fight, okay? And then the scene when he's like, oh yeah, they gonna get it out. I ain't gonna back down. It ain't gonna be like last time. He all hype and stuff. And she like, that's my man. Tiffany, are you toxic? Then we cut back to Marceau and Tisha, and Marceau saying that he told Martell that it should just be a conversation that he had with Big Lou, and it's gonna be an awkward conversation because it ain't easy to tell a man that his wife was out of line. So then Tisha just like, oh, Marceau, you giving me all this information, and I got Tiffany baby shower coming up. And then Marceau was like, shit, well, if you want to be messy, like be gossip, go ahead. He said, I'm being messy, you're being messy, be messy. That was a little bit funny though. I'm like, yeah, I'll be messy right now. But it's getting a little dark, okay? A little dark. Then she gonna have to really be messy about what y'all, okay? Do y'all want to play this game? Tiffany will spill all the tea she finds out, okay? Okay, so now we're over to Kimmy and Maurice, and they're in the car, and they're talking about some real shit, okay? I was like, okay, Kimmy, put it on the table then. She putting it on the floor then, okay? Because she just straight embarrassed Maurice. Okay, so Kimmy starts saying that, they just got done, they just got the okay from the doctors to start radiation. And, she's saying in their confessional that people didn't tell her that her libido would drop, and it would drop to non-existent. And she was basically telling Maurice in the scene that, most of the time when they have sex, it just be for him. She's like, because I know you need that. And because I'm not there. So then he was like, hold on, so you faking it? You be faking it? He was like, what? Because actually, when she mentioned something about her sex, no, she was talking about how her hair, at first, she was saying how all her hair is starting to grow back after chemo, and that her hair was connected to her sexuality. As soon as she said sexuality, he was, what? What you said? And then they got into all of the her faking it. He was like, you be faking it? And she was like, no, I'm not faking it. I'm just not, there when you're there. I was like, oh shit, Kimmy putting it, she took everything out. She saying, I got problems with this, I got problems with this. How you feel about it? I said, okay, shit. Finally, we get some kind of more insight over there. But anyway, so she's saying that, he was like, well, I don't like that you saying like it's a chore, like, you you saying you just doing it for me. And she's like, well, most of the time, it's for you. It's kind of like when you go to church and you really didn't want to go, but when you get there, after you hear the sermon, you hear the singing, and then you're like, oh, that was great. She's like, sometimes it's like that, but most of the time it's not. I'm like, oh my God. He was like, but you be like, hold on, I was close, wait. I asked you sometimes, did you finish? I was like, I can't believe you having this conversation. But anyway, so then he's saying don't get used to faking it, because then after you do it so many times, that's what you get used to. And then she was like, what you want to rather do? You rather not get any, and then, or she said, you rather not get any, or you rather go through the motions with your wife that's tired and just got all this chemo and radiation pumped through her body, and get where you need to go. Which, like, basically is gonna guarantee you a happy ending. Which one would you want? I'm like, you know what? When she put it that way, shut up, Maurice. Cause you'll be hurt, okay? You'll be hurt. And apparently he don't, when she initiating sex, he talking about, you initiate like 50% of the time. And she was like, no, I don't. He was like, yeah. She was like, what I do when I initiate? He said, when you turn over and put your leg and you basically put your booty on me. She was like, no, that's not me initiating. That's me. That's me wanting to cuddle. So he would always take it as she ready to have sex. Oh my gosh. He was like, well, I thought, in the confession, well, I thought they meant that, but apparently I don't know what it looked like when she initiating sex. Apparently it just means she wants to cuddle. And Kimmy like, yes, that's what that meant. I just wanted to cuddle. Girl, you just be having sex with him because he think you initiated it. Or you think he initiated it. Oh, Lord. Y'all both think each other doing it. That's funny. But anyway, so then he was like, well, maybe, like, if you don't want it, you can, how people come up with an excuse, like when you was a kid and you had a bike and you asked to ride their bike and they say, my mama said you can't ride my bike, and that's just an excuse they made up because they don't want you to ride their bike. He was like, why don't you do something like that? And then she was like, oh, you want me to say you can't ride my bike? My mama said you can't ride my bike. Okay, so now we're over to Kimmy and her friend Andrea, friend we ain't never met before. But anyway, so she talking to her friend, and Kimmy is really hitting home and hitting the ground running with what's going on between her and Maurice and what is bothering her, okay? So she's talking to her friend talking about, being a wife is doing overtime work and all this and that. So then Kimmy was like, yeah, and dealing with chemo, one of the side effects is a loss of libido. And her friend was like, what? No, you? She's like, yeah, I definitely don't have no interest in it. It don't cross my mind. I don't even think about it, okay? So then the friend just like, oh, wow, I've never heard that before. So then she's like, yeah, and me and Maurice just had the conversation because I know it got to be tough for him, because I'm like, how does that feel? How are you feeling? Because she's like, she know what his expectation is, so for him to be seeing him getting less, she kind of feel bad about it, basically. And then the friend just like, okay, yeah, I understand that. Maybe you can like do something. She gave us some suggestions or something like that. But she was saying that, you know, what does Maurice feel? And she said that Maurice was like, well, are you faking it? You telling me you faking it when we do have sex? And she was like, you know, you kind of go through the emotions. Like, well, tonight was for you. Like, you know, you'd be like, did you finish? No, I ain't finished. But, you know, don't worry about me. Don't worry about me. It was for you. Oh, goodness. And then they talked about, she said, but Maurice said that he would let her be the initiator and all this and that. And then, you know, she's saying that she don't feel sexy and that, you know, she don't even have hair and she don't feel cute. She feels ugly. She feels beat up after going through all of this chemo and radiation and all this stuff. So, and then the friend was like, yeah, I understand. She's like, because as a woman, you need to feel sexual. You need to feel pretty. You need to feel, you know, you have to feel it to be able to do it. Shit. And he's like, and men don't get that. I'm like, exactly. You know, it's the truth. It take a lot. She's like, then one thing as a woman, one thing can make you just feel like, ugh, I'm disgusted. I'm like, ain't that the truth? You just walk around perfectly fine and then you just get that feeling. Like, But anyway. So then, she says that, you know, she feel bad and, you know, it's good to have the conversation. Well, the friend said it's good for them to have the conversation because then to not address it and he just feeling away, then, you know, it could end up in different boats. I said, oh, girl, don't say that. But Kim was like, yeah, that's why I want to have the conversation because, you know, I know he got to be feeling away. She's like, so would he rather, you know, me just go through the motions or you don't get none? And then they just laughing about that and stuff like that. So it was a pretty good conversation. Kimmy really laying it out on the table, how she feeling, what really goes on in marriages. And I'm liking it, okay? We got Kimmy opening up, okay? Now, Tisha and Marcel, can we get some real? Can we get something? Can we get something, okay? Instead of y'all moving with your Neverland and your black expansions and all your expo, but we ain't got nothing going on in y'all's house, do we? What happened with the cheating allegations, huh? Are you confident in your marriage? Now you have a problem with Tiffany bringing up your marriage because you don't want to talk about nothing. So now we're over to Tiffany and Big Lou baby shower, and it's in their house. He go Tisha being messy at the table. Oh, did y'all hear about Martell and him? Well, no. They asked if Marceau was coming, and she said she don't know because he having an issue with Tiffany right now. I'm like, it's bad, girl. He said he don't like how she was being. He think that was rude. and what did I say? So then she says that you know, him and Martell and had the thing with Tiffany the other day. So she started telling everybody like, yeah, she asked Sheree if how she feel about dating a cheater, and then Stone was like, yeah, she told me that. And then they was like, well, then she said, does she think her vagina is good enough to keep him? And everybody was like, what she's like, oh, she didn't tell me that. And then Kimmy was like, what? No, she didn't. She's like, yes, she did. And she didn't even say vagina, she said the P word. Tisha, you and this P word. Is it a curse word to you? So anyway, so then in Kimmy's confessional, she said she's stunned. She can't believe she said that. She can't believe that. And she never lost for words. She lost for words at this point. So then Maurice was like, what was the response? And then I was like, yeah, what was the response? And she was like, I don't know. I'm just saying what I heard. And I was like, oh, Tisha, you don't even got the whole story. We want to know. That guy would know what happened after that. Was she upset? I said exactly what happened after that. She ain't say that shit. She said something else. I can't remember what she said. But why they don't even rewind the clip back? Why they not inserting clip when she said she said that? And so Mel arrives to the event. as they talking about all this crap at the table. So then she, speak to Tiffany. She goes to the table and they was like, "Oh, well, we're gonna have a conversation with Mel at the table." So then Tisha was like, we was having a conversation about Martell and Martell dating and stuff like that. Um, oh, so we don't want to make you uncomfortable. You're gonna be good, basically. But then Mel told me, ain't no conversation gonna make me feel uncomfortable. I'm like, girl, stop lying. Stop lying, girl. Because as soon as they was like, well, did you hear about what Tiffany said to Sheree about like if she think her pussy good enough for for to keep Martell, and then she was like, oh shoot, I ain't know about none of that. And she was like, let me go fix my plate. And they was like, see. I'm like, yeah, girl, you was pretending like you ain't bothered. You just don't want to hear about it, okay? And plus, the glee everybody get from telling her shit like this anyway, okay? I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna keep it pushing too, but it's still funny. So she was like, in her confessional, yeah, I know when to back out of a conversation I don't want to have, and even if it's just to excuse myself to go fix a plate. She was like, so then she come back to the table. She's like, see, and then here they go, starting. Every time I come around, all these deep conversations are being had. There they go, starting. See, this is why I stay to myself. I said, yeah, that's true. Because here we go. When she sit down, they talking about it in the hill storming. Oh, but did y'all hear about the second part? Did y'all hear about the other part? They was like, no. She's like, oh, well then. Anyway, so she said like, you a fan of Sheree? I said, oh my goodness. Stormy, you went from me liking you to like, this is so okay, like y'all should show us time and time again why Mel back away from y'all asses, okay? Because this right here is a no-go for me, okay? You look happy to say it, and you happy to say it in front of all the people that low-key can't stand Mel, okay? So then you all like, so you was a fan of Sheree? Yeah, she said that like you drove out to she said Tiffany said Sheree said that you was a fan of hers and that you drove out to like Birmingham to one of her book signings to score a picture. I was like, ain't nobody said all that. All she said was that she was a fan of Sheree's. She came to one of her book signings and they took a picture. She didn't say she went to go score a picture, like she just had to have a picture with Sheree's ass. So then Mel was like, no, I've met her like this was years and years and years ago in Birmingham, and it was a some kind of hair show event. She was like, and Marceau was there as well, and I was a speaker there, and she was there. And that's all that was. They were, no, I don't. Just then that's like, does she have an issue with Sheree? Basically, she was like, no, I don't have an issue with one person. I don't have no issue with nobody he dating, nobody he got connected with. I just got issue with his ass. Basically, he the issue. Stop trying to make everybody else her issue. And I'm like, exactly. Thank you, Mel. Like, these people just love to try to pick at you and be like, you feel away. You a bitter woman. You a bitter woman. That's all they want her to be. And she not. When did she ever ask questions about Martell? She never asked questions about Martell, but y'all always asking her questions about Martell. Y'all always trying to tell her, offer her up information about Martell, and then y'all want to be acting like she supposed to care that he fake dating Sheree. Like, we all know it's a lie. Y'all just pretending like it's the truth because y'all want to be on his side like some dumbasses. So anyway, Mel just like, okay. So then Martell comes in, of course. So anyway, Mel was like, if y'all had any question, if I was gonna leave an event, if Martell show up, y'all got y'all answer, because here I am going out the door, okay? I said, thank you, because I don't want to associate with this nigga, okay? I don't even want to see him when I gotta see him, okay? So Marcel was like, oh, I need a seat. And she's like, you need a seat? You can have mine. So she gets up and leaves. She's like, they're like, oh, you leaving? He's like, yeah, I am. God bless you on your journey. You know what? I'm gonna need to get the Team Wife shirt, okay? And I need the God bless you on your journey. Goodness, man is one funny person. I don't know why y'all be tripping. Okay, so now Big Lou, Marceau, and Martell are finally talking. So Big Lou saying basically, let me hear y'all side before I react to what I react. What my wife told me. And then Marceau was like, well, let me know what you told. And then he was like, well, I know the first question was how you feel about dating a cheater. And then it was like, yeah, bro, that was wrong and all this and all that. And then she's saying that, what did he say? Something about, Martell saying that was disrespectful and all this and that. And Big Lou is saying that, of course, they don't need to be going to his wife to talk about something that another woman had to do with another grown woman. And it's like, but no human person, here go Marcel, no human person would say that to another human. I'm like, Marcel, shut up. And why you keep saying that like she not human or something? What are you trying to do? You got too much animosity and you acting like this is your issue. Why? Because you still mad because she talking about your issues, but you not trying to bring them up, ain't you? You wait for Tisha to bring it up. You waiting for Tisha to shine because you don't want Tiffany shining light on y'all BS. So now you're trying to jump on Martell's bandwagon because he's still talking over Martell, and Martell not even saying that much in his argument with Big Lou. But he jumping in like, yeah, like he said, yeah, that's messed up. And then he's like, then you call her a Karen and tell her what the fuck is she doing and all this and that. And then he's like, yeah, what is a Karen then? What is a Karen? He's like, come on, Big Lou, you know what a Karen is. You know what a Karen is. And then so Marceau starts saying a Karen is somebody that, impose their opinion, unsolicited, annoying, condescending, and all this kind of stuff like that, basically, what a Karen is. And then he's like, let me tell you something. He getting to Martell, right? He talking to Martell. Let me tell you something. Even though, what she said was inappropriate, but something about Tiff is that she is genuine and she not thinking about what's going on now. She think about what's going on, what can go on potentially. So he was saying that. So even though she said she said all that stuff, she knows how you feel about families and this and that. So then he go, Marcel, bullshit. I'm like, nah. See, he riling it back up like, shut up, Lou. Like, Martell, you shouldn't be believing this. Get mad, Martell. So then he go, Martell, no, it was very disrespectful. And then he was like, well, you shouldn't have went to my wife, without coming to me. And he was like, no, it was just she was there. I was just talking to her. She was there, and it was a extended conversation because I got you here. Let me tell you about what happened. What I heard about what happened. He's like, so she wrong for saying that if her pussy good enough to keep me? Like, come on, like making that statement. That's crazy. I was just like, whatever. But I forgot to mention in Martell's confessional before he talked to Lou. He's talking about, yeah, I came here to talk to Big Lou, Mel ignoring me, avoiding me at the party, I ain't got time for that. Boy, bye. Because why you always got to mention Mel? I don't think Mel said your name at all. But anyway, so, of course, it's getting more heated. Then he go, Maurice, he like, oh, I need to go outside. All the guys are talking. I need to get in this. So then, of course, when he come out, he get even more riled up because then Marceau feel like he got his brother backing him up. He really got to go in on Big Lou. Like, really, Big Lou, you really believe that? Was she right? He's like, I didn't say she was right. You want me to say she was right. I ain't say she was right, but I'm saying you should come to me versus go to my wife, especially since she pregnant. And then he go, Marceau trying to act like, nah. I should be able to go to your wife and stuff like that. I was like, oh no, Marcel. Because the minute somebody says something to Tisha says, you got a problem. Because then he have a problem with Martell when Martell did the whole sweetie thing, and that wasn't even much. It was passive aggressive, but he had a problem with it, didn't he? Look at this. That was like season 1, 2. So, so come on, Marcel, stop with the BS and stop acting like this is your problem. And just like Big Lou said in his confessional, he was like, this don't even got nothing to do with Marceau, and he got all up in it and got all this, stuff to say. So then, of course, Big Lou, he going off. He was like, but you got a point, but was you right? Was you right? And the next time I think was right for going to Tiffany. He was like, no. He's like, so when I got an issue, I'm gonna go to your wife. And then Marcel's like, no, you're not gonna go to mine. He's like, nah, I'm gonna go to your wife. When you got an issue, I'm gonna go to your wife too. And he's like, well, when you was with me, I'm gonna go. Would I have ever went to her? And then I guess he started, he started getting all close with the fingers. And Marcel like, boy, So then they like, hey, bro, you don't want to do that, bro. You don't want to do that. It escalated quickly because they all was on that bullshit. Uh, Big Lou trying to defend his wife, but he's still telling them like, yeah, I know she was wrong, but y'all not finna be coming to my wife when y'all got an issue with her. I don't need no men coming to my wife with no issues, and then calling her Karen, basically calling her names and shit too. So that is a little bit like, okay. He just like, I know she was wrong. I could talk to my wife, but she not coming with malicious intent. Basically, he trying to say. She's like, she just like to ask questions and she nosy. Like she already said. Well, he didn't say she was nosy, but she said that already. What more can you ask for? She said she was being nosy / messy. I mean, okay, so they get all heated, more risky in between them. Like, hey, no, calm down. We just having a respectful conversation. And Big Lou was like, well, okay, then I'm just saying it's a better way to handle that shit. Y'all come to me. If y'all was really my friends, y'all would come to me and tell me I had an issue with my wife versus going to my wife. And he was like, what was his they asked him what was his reaction to what she said. He was like, I was like, really, Till? That's what you asked? Really? Like, come on now. He's like, I'm not trying to cover up and say she was right for no kind of shit. I'm just saying that I know she wrong. But y'all, if y'all was my friends, y'all would come to me instead of going to my wife. And she's like, he's like, one, she pregnant. And then two, she's a woman. And y'all two grown ass men. And then they all just like, okay, yeah, all right. I mean, it's a way to respectfully do this, blah, blah. So basically, after they calm it down, everybody just agreed that, she said Sheree, Big Lou gonna say Sheree need an apology. And then they was like, and Martell, Marcel and Maurice, and Martell. And he like, yeah, Martell too. And, and then he go, Marcel, in the human race. I'm like, boy, if you don't stop with this human race shit, and they talking about, for saying the shit out loud, and like, he's like, really, this what you doing, Big Lou, like, really, Marcel, like, chill. And he was like, innocent black, just like a Karen, shit like that. I'm like, ooh, Marcel is gonna get on my nerves. After they finish all of that, Big Lou go in, Tiffany starting to feel bad, she getting dizzy, they got cutting out the lights and stuff, so, it's kind of something crazy going on, and she already finna pop anyway, so all kind of shit be going on when you have kids, okay? Alright, that is in the episode. That is in my review of Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 6, Episode 9. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the belikedee channel, okay? Drop down in the comments, let me know what y'all thought about the episode. What y'all thought about Marceau acting like he really just so mad about this beef when he really mad about the shit she saying about his marriage, okay? And about Big Lou kind of like backing down, but he really ain't have much of a fight because, Tiffany ain't everybody business. But he did pretty well at defending his wife, I guess, He said that she was wrong, but he also said, y'all wrong too. Don't talk to my wife, okay? And about Stormy being extra messy with Mel. Oh, she said you like a fan, like you a fan. Getting all excited about that shit, and then Mel hit them with the deuces, okay? And Kimmy saying some real shit about, husband being married, being through chemo and losing her libido. I mean, you can lose your libido all other kind of ways too. So it was a real good, interesting conversation she kept having. I like that she was putting it out there, putting Maurice's ass out there. He had to talk about it, and it was funny. So drop down in the comments, let me know what y'all thought. All right.